Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC 129 alongside Benson Henderson, who defeated Mark Bocek tonight. And Benson, congratulations on the big win. You know, I'll never forget WC 53, the emotion that you showed in the post-fight press conference. It meant so much to you to be that champion, and that fight was a tough loss for you. Now, you know, 4 or so months later, how does it feel to get back on the winning track?
It feels great. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to front, put on an act. It feels awesome. I think I was walking around with a bit of a chip on my shoulder, you know, a weight on my shoulders, a taint on my soul. I feel cleansed. I feel good. It feels awesome. You know, I don't like losing. I despise it. I have a hatred for losing. But coming off a win, you know, getting my hand raised, it doesn't erase what happened. You know, I can accept it, but it feels better to be on a W.
And maybe more so than any other WEC guy, you really did have that chip on your shoulder. I mean, there was a time where guys in Strikeforce were calling you out just because you were the champion. You didn't do anything. You didn't call anyone out, but it was almost like you needed this to show everyone that you can hang with the best in the world. And is that how you felt going into this fight?
Yes, to be honest, a little bit. My thing was always, you know, people always said, oh, yeah, how do you think you stack up against the UFC lightweight class guys or the Strikeforce lightweight class guys? Some of the guys called me out. You guys know who you are. It's okay. You know, I don't hold a grudge against you or anything. But, you know, my answer was always, let's find out. You know, I'm not a big talker. I don't like to sit there and say, oh, yeah, this would happen, that would happen. If I fought this guy, I would knock him out. I would choke him out, blah, blah, whatever. I always say, let's find out. You know, let's put the money where the mouth is and let's do it. Let's find out. So, you know, this was my chance to go in there against a top, you know, UFC lightweight class guy and have a good performance. I think I did that.
And now that the fight is over and you look back on the fight against Bocek, considering the fact that you were going into this fight on a loss in your previous fight, do you feel as though you were tentative at all, or do you feel as though you just let it out and you were the same old Ben Henderson?
I feel I was a little bit tentative. I was not worried about his takedowns, but I was aware of his takedowns. So I didn't quite let go with my leg kicks, didn't quite let go with my hands. I was worried about, he has a really good, he's not the greatest wrestler. He's not, doesn't have the biggest accolades as a collegiate career or high school, but he's very insistent, you know, grab a hold of the guy, drag him down to the ground. He's a very insistent wrestler. So I was aware of his wrestling, you know, capabilities of taking me to the ground and holding me there for like 13 minutes of the fight, which case I would then lose the fight. So I was aware of it and a little bit hesitant as far as letting my hands go, letting my kicks go. But, you know, it's something to you know, build from for my next fight.
I heard you saying that you wanted to get the finish. Obviously, that didn't happen. But, you know, considering the fact that we call you Bendo, especially because of what you did against Donald Cerrone in that first fight, and he almost got you in a few submissions. And prior to the fight, he was saying you had never been on the ground with someone quite like him. The fact that you were able to escape some of those submissions, that has to feel good, right?
To be honest, on that part, just the submission part, I'm not too thrilled about that. I'm very confident in my jiu-jitsu game, offensively and defensively. Being on the level of somebody like Mark Bocek, he's very accomplished. He has a lot of accolades in the, you know, amateur jiu-jitsu world, professional jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it, world. He has a bunch of awards and titles and that sort of stuff. But, you know, I've rolled around against some of the top guys on the planet. Kenny Florian is completely like the man in jiu-jitsu. I roll on with his brother Keith Florian, who's the man, a whiz on the ground. You know, and they didn't school me. They caught me a few times, of course. You know, like they've been black belts for like 12 years. So obviously, I roll around with BJ Penn. You know, he's the man. Like not only the jiu-jitsu world, but his MMA jiu-jitsu as well. You know, he caught me a few times, but I'm comfortable. I'm secure with anybody. Mark Bocek is definitely, I would not say in my, you know, personal humble opinion, not quite on their level. Keith Florian, Kenny Florian, or BJ Penn. So I don't know. It's not something that I take a whole lot of, you know, joy from not being submitted by Mark Bocek. I don't think I should be.
We're a long ways away from WEC, being out there in front of 55,000 people in a baseball stadium. What was that like for you?
It was awesome. It was definitely, you know, not a dream come true, but very surreal. You know, looking out like, oh, wow, there's a lot of people here. They're all, you know, at first, you know, they were booing me and stuff, but the biggest thing I was really happy about was at the end of the fight, me walking away, they're all cheering, they're all happy. Just good, awesome fans. It was cool.
I noticed you have a new tattoo on your back. It's pretty large.
Yeah.
What's the inspiration behind that?
My boy, first of all, Marcelo Stefaniak hooked that up. I did about 18 hours on doing that. It was something I always wanted to get. All my tattoos I have on my body are stuff I thought about for like 5-6 years, you know, before I actually go and get them. Took a lot of cojones for me to go get that tattoo, but it has a lot of meaning to me on a lot of different levels, to be honest. I don't want to get into it too much because I'll be sitting here and talking for like another 30 minutes. But it has a lot of personal meanings to me on a whole lot of different levels.
Who's next?
I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to Dana White, but whoever it is, I'm going to go get my hand raised and end the fight.
Congratulations, Benson. Welcome to the UFC.
Thanks, Ariel. Appreciate it.